In today's video, I thought I would do something a little bit different and show you how I set up my camera when it comes to filming. So in this video, I'll be using multiple cameras, also showing you how I film, how easy I try and make it for myself, and hopefully in some of these tips I share with you today, it will make filming for you easier. Now if that sounds interesting to you, I'm Dave from TVR Creators. I make weekly content on the best cameras for creators, and I try to make video easier for beginners. If that sounds interesting to you, do a bit like and subscribe, and all the equipment I'll be using today, there'll be links to all that in the description. So let's make video easy. You're going to get value from this video. What I'm going to make today feel really easy for you guys as I move around. I just thought I'd make it interesting, a bit like David Attenborough. Hopefully the sound sounds good. Some of the equipment I'll be using today, I'm going to use a Canon M50 Mark II, which is the camera I use most weeks for filming. Also, just to make things a bit more interesting, I thought I'd use my DJI Pocket 3, which is a fantastic camera. That's the camera I'm using to film. Also, I'm using the DJI wireless microphone, which is connected to the camera, and hopefully it's all working nicely. So it's very windy today. It's a nice sort of sunlight. I thought I'd get somewhere a bit shaded. There's lots of outside sound, so it's a bit of a experiment for me and for you, but I just thought I'd make this interesting for you guys. And when I'm setting up my video, I tend to use a tripod. I like to get one that's sort of semi-professional, and I usually set it up like this. I'll just put it onto sort of one bar for the moment. I now have the Canon M50 Mark II. This is my favorite Canon camera. I do actually have better cameras like the DJI Pocket 3 I'm filming with today. I also have the Canon R50, both superior cameras, but for whatever reason, I still like to use the Canon M50. Why? I've used the Canon M50 for sort of 5 or 6 years now. I know how it works, it's easy to use. And what I tend to use for this setup is I will use the M50, like I said, but I like this because it's mirrorless camera, it's light as agile. I tend to use the 15 to 45mm kit lens, which is a beautiful lens here today, and then I click it on like so. I like the fact it has a nice little flip touch screen, which is really nice. And what I basically do to set this up is I put it into video mode, which is on the top there. I don't know if you can see that. And I put it into video mode. I usually put it into auto. I don't tend to play around with shutter speed and ISO. And then basically from there, I also have a Rode shotgun microphone. These are really nice. You get these now for about 80 to 100 pounds. There's actually a sort of version 2 of this camera now that actually does some other cool features. But today I'm using this shotgun microphone because it's easy to use. So from there, I usually do this on top of the tripod, but for you guys, I thought I'd mix it up a bit, move it around like that sort of thing. Hello! I just thought it was really cool. I love the fact that the DJI Pocket 3 will move around, so it's like my personal cameraman. It just makes it interesting and all that sort of jazz. And I love the fact that it does all that. For those of you that are interested, the Pocket 3 is a great little blogger's camera. You can move it around, has a little personal tripod. I could have put it on another tripod, but I thought it'd be cool just messing around. So once I've set it up, the camera on my tripod, if you're getting value, like and subscribe. And what about check out our merch? Link to all that in the description. So what I tend to do, I'll be honest, little power tip actually with any mirrorless camera, I tend to make sure the screen isn't fully out. Move the cap off the mic jack port, put the microphone in. And what's really good about these mirrorless cameras is they set up straight away, and then I usually put the camera on, take off the lens cap. The reason why I do it once I've plugged in the microphone is because once I've done that, hopefully the cable won't hit the lens. You don't want to damage the lens. And then what I usually do then is just gently turn it around, and then I can see exactly what I'm doing. Now on these kit lens, you have to pull a little button to set it up to 15mm, and then I usually have it higher than that, but just for you guys, I thought I would just show, you know, and obviously I'll be standing up, but just so you can see it all in the camera shot. So I always make the camera about sort of eye level, have it sort of set up, and if you can, I tend to have the camera lens at eye level or slightly higher. Just makes the image look better, makes it look more interesting, that sort of thing, and just makes it easier to shoot. It just looks like a nicer shot. A very minor thing that most people won't even notice, but something I like to bear in mind. And then from there, I can just press record on the top. There's nice record on there. For those of you that don't know already, the M50 is a 24 megapixel camera, takes great photos, great video. You can record in HD and 4K. I highly recommend using it as a HD camera because it does that better, because it does crop the 4K a little bit. And if you want like a 4K camera, I'd probably go with a DJI Pocket 3 or the R50. But for me, it's perfectly fine for what I do, and I can see exactly what I'm doing. And what I do is I usually tap on my face so we can see what I'm doing. And then from there, I can just press record like that and go, hello, I'm Dave from TVR Creators. I'm here to do my video. And there it is all good. And you're probably thinking, what, is that it? Yeah, that's literally what I do. I don't overthink it. I don't make it complex, you know, and I love these mirrorless cameras because they're easy to use, they're agile, and I like the fact I can just point and shoot. With any camera I use, or any camera I'd recommend, I would highly recommend a camera that just points and shoot. It just makes things easier. So get a camera that you can just put in record mode and press record. Now, if you're feeling a bit more technical, you can play around with shutter speed and ISO, play around with the frame rate as well. I tend to record in 25 frames per second. I'm actually recording in 30 just because. But I tend to find 25 or 30 is a good, you can record up to 60 frames per second, but that requires much more space on your SD card. It will take your computer longer to render. But obviously, if you want to future-proof your video and have a more high-definition video, then obviously there is nothing wrong with that. So that is literally how I set up my camera. If you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. I do my best to answer them. I do a lot of hand gestures here, but that's literally it. I do my filming, I film a few times, I tell everybody what I'm up to, and then off I go. So today I've used the M50, I've used a Rode shotgun microphone, nice little tripod. There could be links to everything I've talked about in the description below. And to film this video, I've used the DJI Pocket 3 and the DJI wireless microphone. And I've only used this as a proper setup sort of a few times, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me. Please put in the comments below, and I'll soon know when I'm rendering. But also, if you would like to support the channel, I do a really cool blog, so there's a link to that in the description below. I do like a weekly or fortnightly blog about what's going on behind the scenes, what videos I'm doing. And if you'd like to support the channel, why not buy a coffee? Supports everything I do here today. As the motorbike says, "Hey, subscribe." So I hope today has given you a bit of value. Feel free to ask your questions, and filming can literally be as easy as this. I hope this video has given you value, and in a moment I'm going to leave you 2 end cards. I'm going to bring you guys even more value. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.